So today we're going to learn about different components you can add inside the blueprint, specifically inside an actor or a pawn blueprint. So the first two I'm going to talk about is a static mesh and a skeletal mesh. So both of them are objects. So like you can do, no, this is not the sphere, like cube, I misspelled cube, like a cube or cylinder, like that. And then there's also a skeletal mesh. So what's the difference? So static mesh is a visible object. It has a lot of settings. It has a visibility. It has like what kind of static mesh it is, a collision, so you can set up how it behaves when it collides with other objects, and etc. It can be moved any other way inside the blueprint, or rotated or scaled. So a skeletal mesh is basically a static mesh, but it also has a skeleton. So an example of that would be the character. So if you go to the mesh, there's our skeletal mesh. So you see that this is a skeletal mesh. It has, well, the first part of the skeletal mesh is a static mesh, basically. So in this case, it's our player, and then it has a skeleton attached to it. So a skeleton is an interchained collection of bones. So this is a bone is a virtual, so it's non-visible, as you can see, a non-visible component of the skeleton, and they are interconnected with each other in a hierarchy. So, for example, spine 2 is a child is a parent of spine 2, spine 3, spine 4, spine 5, class, etc. So, if the mesh is moved, the bones will also move with it. Or, in other words, if you move the bone, as you can see, and also bones connected to a certain part of the skeletal static mesh, in the skeletal mesh in this case. So, if you move the bone, you can see the corresponding part of the mesh will move with it. So that way you can easily manipulate the mesh in any way you want to make them look up, down. So yeah, and also as you can see, if a bone is moved, then all its children will also be moved with it. So the skeletal mesh is mostly used to make animations and move your character in a more complex way than just up, down, left, right, forward, and backwards. Also, it's impossible to make an animation without a skeletal mesh, or for a static mesh without a skeleton. Yeah, and also there can be these two same animations for similar skeletons, meaning skeletons with same names of the bones or it's same. So the way they differ is by their shape. So sphere collision looks like a sphere if we make it up a little bit. So you see, it looks like a sphere. A box would be shaped like a box. A capsule would be shaped like a capsule. So they are non-visible objects, but they can be set to visible if you need to. They have on actor begin overlap. So if you scroll down while sphere being chosen in details, you can see on component begin overlap. And that's the event we talked in the previous lesson. So that's how you call them. And they also have a lot more events. They are used to determine collision between objects and etc. Also, a collision has a collision. Yeah, so that's a very simple object. Another very important object is a camera. So camera, it's basically a non-visual component. It cannot be seen by the player himself. It can be moved anywhere in the blueprint. Basically what it does, it films everything that is like visible in front of itself. So like if you look at it from its point of view, if you just like that from this part. So, and it can be activated. When a camera is active, its image is put on the player's screen. So basically what you're seeing right there is a image from a camera which flies around the player, and it's active. Yes. So let me move back. So the thing is, only one camera is in the game can be active. If one is active and you activate another, it will not change anything. So in order to switch cameras, you need to activate one and deactivate the other. In order to do that, you have if you drag out the camera reference, you can do set active right here, just like that. And then also the default target for the cameras is the player. So if you activate a camera, for example, in this blueprint, it will not change anything even if you deactivate the camera in the players, because the game looks only for the default object. So to change the object it looks for where the camera would be, it would be set blend mode, set blend, oh my bad, set view target with blend. I get, let's try this again, set view. Okay, so for some reason it doesn't work for me, but there's an out. And it has a object input, and that object which you input will be the object the game will look up to. Yeah, so that's the camera. There's also another type of a camera, which is kind of similar. It's called a scene capture component 2D. So as you can see, it's visually similar to a camera. So its functionality is very similar to the camera. So what it does, it also films everything in front of it, but its image is not transferred to the player screen, and it's also always activated. Instead, its image has a texture target. So you can create a render target, and if you save it, and then if you place it in a world, you can see that you have the image from this scene capture right in your texture. So you can make a material out of it and put it somewhere else if you need to. So that's the scene capture. Light, to my experience, light is a very important thing in Unreal. If you search or in any game creation really, it makes all the effects and atmosphere. So you should see it makes it way less visible. So now we have a dark map. So there are a couple different lights, but all of them have an intensity and a radius. So an intensity is, as you notice, how bright they are. So 0 meaning no brightness at all. And the radius, which we do not have because it's specific. So this type of light emits light from this specific point. It has intensity and it has a radius. So the intensity does not affect the radius. So if we leave the radius to like 10 and we leave the intensity as it is and set the intensity to 0, so we can see the results better. And actually, it's not that bright. And I have no idea why. Maybe we should set up to more. It can be brighter. Spawn, as you can see, it will emit light. And as you can see, it does not cast shadows. You need a special setup for this, so just keep it in mind. So another type of light is a square light, or as the rectangle light, my bad. So basically what it does is it emits light in one direction. So as you can see, there's the light, and it emits the light right in that point in a square-like way. And if we like move it up, it will light up the area up. So that's that. Directional light emits light on every single surface in a game. So as you can see, yeah, that's a very beautiful effect which light creates. So directional light it doesn't have a radius, as you can see, because it just reflects off every single surface in the world. So it's like the main light. It's mostly used at like the sun type and stuff. Yeah. So another type of light is spotlight. So as you can see by its shape, it just emits light in a specific cone-like way in the direction you give it to him. And it also has a radius. So just like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this lesson.